Okay, it says live.
Yes. Here we go.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
My favorite animal is a dog, preferably a pit bull. They are protective, loyal, and have great personalities. They smile, they love to play, and are silly. The first time that I bought a pit bull was when I was 21 years old, and I was living in Tampa by myself, and I wanted something for protection. So I thought I would get a pit bull, and I bought a pit bull when I think he was 8 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks old. Brought him home. He was really hard to train, but after about 6 months, I had him trained, and he became my best friend. After that, I ended up buying another dog shortly after that, probably about 2 years, and it was a female. Her name was Jada. She was really easy to train because she just followed along with my older pit bull, and um, and after that, let's see. When I met my husband, he had two pit bulls as well. When we first moved in, we had a total of three dogs, and they all got along for the most part. Shortly after that, I ended up having my daughter, and the dogs became super overprotective with her. And ever since then, we always had pit bulls. The three ended up passing away. It was many years ago when I first got them, obviously. And we ended up with two more, and it's Bashy and Lucy. And now we have a Boston Terrier that we added to the group. So we're a packed house of dogs, and they're all great, very easy to train. They're really, good with the kids, and the males tend to be a little bit more aggressive and are overprotective. So it's always good, especially when they're around children, to make sure that, wherever you have them, just have them, whatever environment that they're in, they need to remain, used to that environment, adapt very well. For instance, if you're going to have a pit bull around children, make sure you introduce them to children at a very young age. If you're going to have them around a lot of other dogs, make sure you introduce them when they're really young, and so that this way that they can get used to it and it just becomes part of their environment. um, they're great companions, extremely loyal. uh, they've always been a favorite dog of mine. Prior to me even owning them, though, just like everybody else, you're really intimidated knowing that they were, going to be aggressive, and all the stories that you hear in the newspaper. And I have to say, from experience, none of it's been true. As long as you realize that it is an animal and you realize their strength, I think that they become great companions, and you're just aware. You're aware of the surroundings that you put them in. You're aware of the people that are around your dog, and just know that their number one goal, is to protect their owners. So putting them around situations that they're not used to, or make them feel uncomfortable, they can't verbalize it. The way that they do it is by growling, or maybe by biting. So it's best to just make sure that you're educated with the type of animal that you have, and that you know what they're capable of doing. They do have lockjaw, so it's important to know how to handle that situation. They're used to, like, they're very energetic, they have a lot of energy, very active, athletic animals. So, kind of wearing them down, making sure you're taking them on regular walks, keeping them busy. I always had ropes tied to my trees, and they would just love to jump up there, and they would swing just by holding onto the rope by their teeth. So that was really cool. And that would just tire them out, and it just changes the whole the whole dog. It's usually when they're mistreated. They're locked in home, in the home most of the day. That's when they become aggressive, I believe. It's just they're just not that type of animal to be left without attention. And one thing a lot of people don't know about pit bulls is they smile. They actually smile. So I have video, I have pictures of my dogs literally with a smile on their face, and it's the cutest thing. And they have real. All done?
Actually, it's a little bit over, like 15 seconds. That's okay though.
Oh my gosh, that was awful.
Awful.
I was like, I
That's
I
okay. We can take another one because remember the intervention line, it has to be 90% at
okay,
least.
yeah,
But we'll count that. Okay. I need a little bit, just a little time to jot down my ideas.
no problem. I think I'm going to do that the next time around. I want to organize my thoughts a little bit better.
Mhm.
So, but okay, I'm going to set the timer then for 10 minutes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. 5 minutes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Last time I talked about my cat as my favorite animal. Today I'm going to talk about another animal that I like. This time is a bear. I like bear because they are just amazing. That's an animal that can look so fearsome but adorable at the same time. How amazing is that? Bear has amazing qualities. Do you know that polar bear fur or hairs is actually translucent instead of white? They look white because um, they reflect sunlight. That's why we see it as white, but actually the hair or the fur is translucent. I think that's really kind of cool. Bear also a very good swimmer. Researchers have seen polar bears swim many miles offshore looking for food, close to 60 miles away, doing their bear paddle. So it's amazing to see them able to swim that far. Bear, despite their looks being so big and burly, are actually good climbers. I always amazed to see them climbing trees in search for bees. I mean, it's just amazing to see this big ball of fur, almost like a ball, and can climb really high up on the treetops. So it is amazing skill that bear have to climb. Bear also live in different part of the world and very diverse. First one is the polar bear. They live in Alaska. And the brown bear, the one that we know quite familiar with, they live in United States and Canada. The recent problem we have now with the brown bear are their population is getting smaller and their gene pool are getting smaller because bears are very smart, but they're also kind of lazy. They don't like to work very hard. So they kind of just stay in the area they know well. Right now, the United States and the Canadian biologists are trying to work hard to make bridges and dig tunnels so the Canadian bear and the United States bear can meet and date and mate just to expand the gene pool. Another place that bear can live are in the tropical, like in the rainforest. It's not very well known, but there are smaller bears that live in the tropics. They are called sun bear. They look very interesting because they're black, but they have a white patch right on their chest. That's why they're called sun bear. And of course, you know one that live in China, the panda bear. Bears are so popular that many animals are mistakenly called bear, although they are not bear. The first one, red panda, is not even a bear. It actually related more to raccoons. Then you go down to Australia, they don't have any bears over there, so they call their koala as a koala bear because it just looks so cuddly. But koala bear is not a bear, it's a marsupial. And then there's another animal that people call bear cat. Now that's an interesting one. It's not even a bear and it's not even a cat. It's a civet. So bear is so popular that people just want to call every other animal as bear because they're just so cuddly and cute. And my family, we like bears so much that we call each other bears. I call my husband Papa Bear because he's grumpy. It's kind of endearment, but he just so much like Papa Bear in the story. Grumpy, grumpy, grumpy. Who sat on my chair? Where is my key? Just grumpy bear. And me, I'm so clingy and so spoiled. He calls me the baby bear. Now that leaves one more person need to be called Mama Bear, and that title belongs to my mother-in-law. I call my mother-in-law Mama Bear. So that's how much us as a family like bear. We call each other Papa Bear, Mama
Time
Bear,
is
Baby
up.
Bear. That is all. Thank you.
You did awesome. I think you only had one.
Did I remember it?
Yes.
Wow. Well, I guess I improved. So now it's your turn. Ah,
I
well, I
think I
mean,
got worse.
maybe if you take that 10 minute and gather your thoughts, because we can use that section as your intervention because for the face, like the procedure said, we need 90%.
Okay.
You see? Do you want to take another 5 to 10 minutes to prepare it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna stick with the same topic, but I'm gonna write down new stuff. Like just try to I think that helps, believe it or not, the writing part.
Yes. Did I speak clearly though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it kept going out a little bit, but overall, I think you only had one.
Okay.
We'll have to go back and double check, but
Right.
it was definitely less than five. Okay.
Okay, I can stop this and I'll restart it.
All right, I think I'm good.
Okay, hold on.
You just give me 1 second.
Yes.
Okay.
Um.
I'll be right back, Sorta. Okay, we're gonna check on the kiddos. Okay.
Okay. Wait for my count. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
My favorite dog. I gotta go back. I gotta start over.
Okay.
This is worse than my first one.
You got nervous.
I don't know. I just don't like the fact that I have to like catch, I can't just talk. I have to like, pay attention to what I'm saying. All
Yeah,
right, that's the hard part for me.
that is. Well, I guess that's part of the training, is the awareness of it.
I know. I don't want to be aware of what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, should we keep recording this whole thing or should we like break them up or
I
no?
would, I would just keep recording. We can, when we do our count, we can look at the timer and count it from then on. It's a lot
Okay.
easier that way.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, take a deep breath.
I know. I'm so sorry. See, it's 8:30. We're gonna get it done. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
My favorite animal is a dog. Pit bulls are preferably my most favorite kind of dog. Pit bulls were created by breeding bulldogs and terriers. In the United Kingdom, pit bulls were used for blood sports such as bull baiting and bear baiting. However, dog fights were cheaper to organize, so people started to use pit bulls for entertainment and dog fights. This has been something that I've known prior to me owning my first pit bull. So what I did was I did my own research. Before I bought my first pit bull, I went to the library. I bought a few different books about Staffordshire Terriers, all different types of pit bulls. And I just read because I was 21 years old and I was living on my own in a big city. And not only did I want a companion, but I also wanted something for protection. And a friend of mine said pit bulls would probably be my best bet. So after my research, I decided to go along with owning one. I just knew that I needed to be prepared for the type of animal that I was going to have in my house. And I found Mr. Q at 6 to 8 weeks old, and I trained him from the moment he came home. And one of the biggest things that I needed to train him on was being used to his environment. If being around children was something that was really important to me, I had a young niece and a young sister at the time, and from my research it said wherever your pit bull is, make sure they are comfortable and used to their environment. Bring them around as often as possible with children, with other animals, and cats, dogs, birds, whatever was in your house, whatever that dog was going to be around, make sure you introduce them at a very young age. And that's what I did. And Mr. Q ended up being a great companion, not only for myself, but for the rest of my family, including my mom and my sisters, my nieces. And even after I had my own children, they were great companions. However, they have their certain ways. He was super overprotective with me. So I definitely had to be careful when I brought him around people, and if they were really loud, he didn't like that. So, they can't verbalize it, obviously. Their way of doing it is growling. That's their warning. And by growling, that was his way of saying, back up, back off. So I think when you own a dog that has the reputation that they do, you have to just respect the type of animal that you have. I'm not doubting that they weren't bred to be fighting animals. I'm just saying that they can also be trained to be great companions and to be useful, extremely useful. In many, more ways than one. They've been used for all different types. They've mostly with children. I've always had my dogs around children, and they have been very protective. My kids walk my dogs till now they go outside, they play with them, and it makes me feel comfortable knowing that they have that extra protection around them at all times. And my kids are trained to deal with them. They know, don't put their face in their face. They know that, when they're eating, that you don't want to be down there around them. However, the dogs are also know that they have children, there's children. So they need to back up. It's like you're in their pack. They need to know that you're the leader in that pack. And by doing that, by the way you can do that is making sure that they're trained properly and that they don't get away with certain things. My dogs weren't allowed to sleep on my bed. I thought, what level that they're at when they were being trained was they're not on my level. So all of those things, it took some time. It's not something that you do with, say, a poodle. These dogs need to know their role in the family. And the sooner they know that, the better off they are, and the happier everybody can be. And they can actually enjoy the great dog and energetic and athletic that they are. So it's okay. How was that?
Good. Much better.
Okay. I actually didn't go off too much I said a few things off my notes, but believe it or not, it's interesting. The notes helped.
Yes. Oh, good. Yes, it does. I mean, I have my note too, written out what I want to say. Yeah, it does help.
Yeah. Interesting. Because I didn't think, I was like, oh, the notes aren't a big deal. Actually, they are. Like for me, it was just organizing your thoughts and how you're going to present it.
Okay. I'm going to stop broadcast so that way we can talk a lot more freer. Because
Okay.
I think our intervention now is good because you really cut off a lot on your
Okay.
I think I only counted less than 5. I know that. And you
Okay.
raised your hand too. So I'm going to stop broadcast, but we can still chat.
Okay.
All right?